Yes, dear. And we're back. Ow. So I want to come in. Let me just unclip this for quick 1 second. Y'all see it was kind of close to the bosom. So I want to come in. So first off, it's your first time coming in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Jamie LeRoyce, and this is Virtual with a Twist, and you are watching a juicy episode of Virtual with a Twist, my dad, because we are in the kitchen. So I wanted to get that little intro. Like I said, please like, comment, and subscribe. In today's video, we are going to just do like a demonstration slash we're just going to cook. It is a Friday evening. And like I said, I haven't decided on what I was going to do. I'm just working with what I got in the pantry because I hadn't had a chance to go to the grocery store. But I have something to kind of work with. My sausages I didn't show on camera, but I'll get a clip in there. But I am right now defrosting these sausages. So I just put them in like some water and let them slowly come to a high heat and just boil just to kind of soften them and bring them down a little bit before we kind of like fry and saute and do all that later. So right now I'm just preparing the onion and bell pepper. And also, like I said, I'm going to cut up my little fruit while we just do a little story time. So, like I said, just, stick around just for a quick sec, like, for sure, like, yeah, okay? So, nonetheless, so without further ado, let me put it back, a little close to the bosom area there. Okay, all real. Okay, so now that we back and we all real, let's get the hands washed. So I'm going to actually stand up for this. And yes, if you see down here, this is the cutting board area. And like I said, for angle purposes, because we just fighting with the angle, like, baby. So give me 1 second while I get the hands washed. Okay. Okay, hands washed, honey. Whew. Hands dry, yes. Okay, so, and seeing of which, hold on, y'all, 1 second. I gotta add one thing in here, and I'll be right back so we can start. So, give me 1 second. So, I feel like that might be a little bit better. So that thing doesn't really work. So like I said, I'm not going to trip. I put my other little light on, so hopefully the lighting is not too bad. But like I said, we're going to switch angles, so I'm going to just make it quick. So I think that helped a little bit, because I'm like, wow, I feel like I'm so dark. So anyway, let's just start with our bell pepper, honey. So let's just go in. So what I wanted to talk about was, one, besides me, this week. So for me, I had some car issues this week. So the car was being maintenance or whatever. They said it was supposed to have been like the fuel pump. So now we're just waiting on the part. And then after the part, I guess they're going to like work on like who's going to install and all of these things. So I have been dealing with car stuff this week. But nonetheless, I have been getting videos done and out. So no excuse. Now, the title of this video, like I said, even though I'm going to be cooking and doing everything like that, I wanted to put a few different topics that I feel will be helpful, in here while I'm, preparing this feast, because I have been doing a lot of research on just different topics, things that I feel will be, valuable, and or, just that I have been doing research on that I felt that have responded well, like people responded well to the material and things like that. So one of the things is I want to talk about, I was like, I just have to be realistic and just talk about like me and just, my former, like being in the beauty industry, being in trucking, being in corporate, things like that, even doing nails and being in the nail industry. I feel like my transition now, since it is online and with YouTube, there is like a lot of new changes, even for, a lot of things, and even for myself. So I told myself, with being more online, I know that a lot of like ideas and things that I wanted to get into, things I want to channel and try, was going to happen but I just needed to make sure that I was ready because things can change overnight. Like, I will say this for an example, like anybody who might have, and or even went viral or potentially went viral will let you know that things can change overnight. And now you have, the success or the following, or you have the traffic. And now it's like, okay, what do I do with this? Like, okay, so everyone's here now. So it's kind of like one of those things. So that's what I've been doing behind the scenes, is just preparing for the betterment of everything and just being, productive. So I want to, like I said, share my story and things like that because I'm a new small creator too. And I know that, like most people, sometimes you like may not feel motivated. That's why the other day when I did my video and I talked about, the fear of posting or getting over the fear of posting. I feel like how I'm doing now, I love to like get in and cook and prepare meals for myself, things like that. So even though I do all styles and I'm a very versatile person, I can only show that through video. So that's why I told myself, just be a little bit more intentional with deciding to press record. Because even us as content creators, deciding to press record, yes, it's a decision, but also it does become soon a lifestyle. But in the beginning, it's kind of like awkward. It's not like normal to you to like sit in front of the camera or go live and then just talk about topics. So it is something that you have to adjust to. But when I tell you, it is so worth the adjustment. That's what all the greatness, I have to say. So nonetheless, besides all of that, another thing is too, I have been doing videos like this week about like family, relating family things, because for a long time off camera, I kept a lot of things like just to self because I was healing, or either I was going through therapy, or I was just revamping to figure out what it is that I was experiencing. So that's why certain things was kept offline. But I'm like, in 2025, I have to be a little bit more open to being vulnerable and just being, a little bit more transparent. And I don't feel like that I wasn't vulnerable in the past because I've never really given myself a pass to have like this long list. Even when I used to record and do videos and things, it was very much, I would just keep them in my phone, or I would keep them like most people. You just keep them in the storage, but no one ever gets to see it. No one like gets to see, I guess, the creativity or the project. So with that being said, even for myself, it's been, I want to say it's been interesting in the beginning, to say the least, because like most, I didn't have a camera that I felt was a quality that I wanted to deliver. I just had my phone. But what was crazy is once we got comfortable with the phone, it was all over because like we had the little external mics that ones from TikTok, and we was like, doing our little, on our bike, like, we was doing our little sets and stuff like this. So it was interesting. It was fun to see, like just the evolution. Like, okay, cool. Like you got your camera set up, boom, and now you got the little mic. So okay. So I was getting more and more comfortable to get on camera and just talk about the topics. So that's when I started seeing like, I want to say the positive effects on like deciding to get on YouTube or, come and share either my story, my take, or just what it is I was doing anyway. Now, I will say this just to back up. I always, to a certain degree, wanted to do a YouTube, but in the past, either I felt like I didn't have the equipment or I felt like it wasn't the right timing. Like, I'm gonna just be honest, like, it's no judgment or anything, but I didn't feel like I had the right equipment. Like most people, like, I had my phone, but I was like, oh, the storage is almost like most people. Your storage is either full or almost full, or it's saying it needs to be updated. So, you debating on like, okay, what am I gonna do here? So, it's all of that that goes in your head. So, after, things had happened, I want to say COVID occurred, things changed. So while I was on the road, I started to figure out, okay, what were other ways or something else that I wanted to look into getting money. What was crazy is I left YouTube and I left like recording alone at the time because I was like, what's the next thing? Like I can do practical, like in person or like with my hands or just live that I can get into. So believe it or not, while I was on the road trucking, I was like very lonely and very depressed. And I was like, I need to find something I need to like, focus on. I need to get into because this is just not going to work. So what I wound up doing was I had went to Walmart one time and had got, just my number little standard stuff. But this time when I was in the Cosmo section, I had already kind of played with like makeup and brows and stuff like that. But I didn't look into it that deep, because I was still learning myself. So I told myself, I was like, okay, you know what? I need to figure out, I need to have something I can focus on. Like, I don't care if it was going to be like doing crossword puzzles, coloring. Like, it was just something I need to have like a creative outlet because I was like stressed out to the max being out on the road by myself. So at the time, I was going to do an RC car, but I wound up waiting. So I wound up going to the Cosmo section and I wound up getting a nail kit. I will never forget that. And I just kind of played with the nail kit. Like I said, I was in the designs and everything. So that was my main thing was like, oh, let me do a cute little small design on a small canvas, for my hand. Because I didn't have an interest in like wearing long acrylics until I started like getting more into the artistry of it. And then I got official and then things happened. That's when I was like, okay, cool. I have my stamp and wear my nails now. But in the beginning, it was not like that. I just was like wanting to find something to channel my focus and my attention on because I was just like, why am I getting to this point? And anybody knows, even in trucking, they'll tell you it's not a good idea to be depressed and be behind no wheel because then that's how like people have suicide attempts and things like that because you're behind a wheel and then like your mind is racing about whatever it's racing about. And so all it takes is for you to just get the golden idea and now you're like, oh, okay, well, forget it. And you're driving and then it's like, if you get in an accident, it's not like someone's going to have to come or you're going to have to like worry about certain things because you will be, lights out. But it's very much a situation of, oh, excuse me, y'all. It very is much one of the situations where you're like, oh, well, I need to figure out another outlet. I need to figure out, is this for me or is that for me? So we got the bell pepper. We got all this done. And then I got my little, right here, my little fruit bag. So these are my little fruit bag. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this part. I'm going to end. And then I'm going to get the food going. And then I'll come back and show that part and then everything. So it's not a drawn out video, but it's just right. If you feel me, you feel me. Okay, baby? So that's, like one of the ways and reasons of how I got into doing nails or interest of nails is because I was over the road, lonely and everything. So then I told myself afterwards, I was like, you know what? I wanted to do online. Like that was my thing. I wanted to build and do online. But life happened, things happened, so much change and happened for me. So at the time, I had to like adjust. And like my adjustment was very much like a learning lesson for me. So while I was adjusting and recovering, I would say that's when I was like thinking like, you know what, something is about like this YouTube thing, like something is about this video thing, like it keep coming up in your mind, like you keep thinking about this, when you're going to do videos, it's being recommended. So a lot of SEO and a lot of just like things was like coming to me to, pursue this or to look back into this or don't give up type of thing. So that's when I got back in the mood. Baby, I got bell pepper all up in here, off the chain. So that's when I got the idea. I was like, you know what? I need to invest in me a good camera. I always wanted to, but things happen. So like I said, we'll talk about things that happen later because, baby, that's an extended vlog for the real tea. But nonetheless, just to keep it cute for the vlog right now, things had happened and occurred. So now I was like, I fast forward. Things got a little bit better. Then I got my approval. Once I got my approval, I was like, okay, cool. I got my coin. So let me go and get, me a camera. So fast forward, I wound up getting a DJI in January. I want to say I played with the camera, used it. I want to say the end of January / definitely February, I started uploading. So I upload like my first video and things like that. So I kept playing with like, you know, just the audio, the settings, different things. I was like watching videos. I was really like in school when it came to the Pocket 3 because I have the GGI Pocket 3. Just to learn how to really like, you know, maneuver around settings and just different things. Because one thing people don't understand is like when you have these technology devices and computers and different things, sometimes until you learn how to work them, you have to watch a video, baby, or a tutorial on settings because it's not just always a default out the box and everything running smooth. Like, no, sometimes you have to adjust and see what's going on. Okay? Amen, class? All rise. So, you know, I was like, you know, I need to get back into this. So now, fast forward from February, we was uploading videos. Not all of them are more consistent like we have been, but we were just uploading videos and stuff, which is good for us. So now, us being in March, we have been just more intentional. So like I said, we're here in March now, and I'm just so glad to be here, you know, as far as like where I'm at with the recording journey, because I got so much to offer. I just need to a certain degree, like most people, get out of your head as far as like what video topic should like be the title or something like that. Like, even though that's very important, I think that's just something that's just like nerve-wracking when you're new, because you're like, I don't want to really necessarily like mess up because, you know, I'm thinking too hard about the title, or, you know, they don't want to hear that or whatever it is. So, you know, I was dealing with that type of woe. But like I said, more and more as I see, it's working out. Like I said, it's adjusting itself. But I know once we get the hang of it, baby, y'all know y'all interested. Y'all in for a ride, okay? We're going to ride out, okay? Florida style, baby. Florida style. We is definitely gonna ride out Florida style. Even though I'm not from Florida, but baby, I love my Florida men. Okay, my Florida women too, but I love my Florida men. Like, oh, ain't nothing like a Florida man, baby. Okay, all real, all rise. So, like I said, I'm gonna end the vlog here because I've kind of prepared all of my little items that I need. On the background, I'm going to wash everything, get it prepped and going, and then I will be back so that I can do the meat portion or like the hamburger portion. Because like I said, I'm going to do 2 dishes in one. Because to be honest with you, what I'm thinking is, I'm thinking of another vegetable. So it will be like a turkey ground beef, either pasta or a pasta with turkey ground beef and veggies. You know, I'm trying to figure out like the concoction or the name right now. So either or, that's what I will be looking at to figure out like what is what. So nonetheless, like I said, I'm going to end the vlog here and come back in just a second after I clean up and everything. So I will be right back. Mwah.